So I have been combing through my mind about ideas for different, I guess, different topics for YouTube videos that I could do, and I don't know, I guess it's just because I'm trying to keep up with it as some type of a hobby. It's fun, it helps me express myself and get my ideas out and talk. So as I was going through my mind thinking about different ideas, I realized that in bits and pieces I kind of explained some of this, but I've never actually explained my story and how everything happened, what happened, how people took it, all of it together. I've told bits and pieces of some of it, but I've never told the whole actual story, so I actually want to go through and tell my story, basically. So I'm one of those guys who I always felt like a boy. When I was younger, I thought I was a boy, until I learned the difference, and I learned that I was a girl, and that it wasn't really too acceptable for people to feel like they're the other one, but they're actually that gender, opposite gender. So I knew it was wrong, kind of, in a way, wrong. So I hid it for a long time. But up until a certain point, I didn't know, and I associated more with my friend Austin than I did with my cousin Denasia, who hung out with me all the time because my grandma babysat us. I learned at some point that my sister was gay. Not gay. I don't know if I knew she was gay. I knew she was a stud, though, and she dressed more like a boy. So I knew that my mom already had one gay daughter, and me feeling like a boy, people used to ask me all the time, are you gonna be like your sister? You're not gonna be like your sister, are you? And I'm just like, no, because I mean, I really didn't lie. I am transgendered. I'm not a lesbian, but in a way I lied. Because I knew every time people asked me, it gave me anxiety like crazy, because I knew I felt like a boy, and I knew that my mom would think maybe she did something wrong. But anyways, on and on, I learned eventually that I liked females. I learned what being bisexual, lesbian, and transgendered was. When I was around 13, I learned what an F to M was. Sorry, I learned what an F to M was when I was about 13, and it was this dude named Skylar. Somehow, I don't know how I got into this little wormhole of, like, YouTube videos, but, I came across this guy named Skylar and getting his top surgery and doing his T updates and all this stuff, and I just was, like, crying, because I felt so much like him, and I envied the shit out of him, because I wanted to do all of that stuff. Wanted all of it. I used to pray to God to make me a boy. I wake up, I'd be a boy, nobody remembered that I was a girl before, and life was just like that from now on. And I guess in a way it came true. But anyways, yeah, so that's how I always felt. And at 15, after watching so many YouTube videos, I saw this one dude. His name is Mr. Flyboy, and I can't find his channel anywhere. But he's about, I think he was like 52, 54, and he started testosterone, and he came out at that age, and I was like, damn. As soon as I watched one of his videos, I went downstairs, and I just came out to my mom. I remember I had just gotten on a new bipolar medication, because I am bipolar, but so it made me more talkative and more open. So around that time is when I came out to my mom. She thought I was just lesbian. I had to explain it was a little further than that. She still loved me, but I think she felt like she lost a chance at a daughter, so she basically had 2 daughters to have 2 sons, and you know, it's probably hard to get used to, and I now understand that I shouldn't have probably pressed the whole issue of he, him on her or Nate on her, because that's kind of selfish of me. To me, it's selfish because my name meant something to her. So I will probably never change my name, and I don't really care if she slips up or anybody slips up and calls me she. I don't care anymore. I'm more non-binary anyways now than trans, because I see people as masculine and feminine characteristics. I don't see gender. So I see people as a mixture of those characteristics, and that's what makes up that person. But anyways, when I came out at 15, a couple months later, I started wearing boxer briefs, I started wearing hats, I started slowly changing my wardrobe, and then I stopped shaving. I remember I got a few comments from our family members, but I didn't explain to them what was going on. I let them see for themselves. And then I eventually explained. And of course they accepted me. I mean, they love me. My family is very loving. They love me no matter what. My family is probably one of those most loving families that I have ever heard anything about. Like, yeah, I got lucky with my family, and so they accepted me, and so yeah, I wanted to also make this video because there's this whole transtrender thing going on, and it's a pet peeve of mine if people watch past videos. I don't believe in this transgender thing, because if somebody identifies as transgendered one day and then identifies as a lesbian the next day, guess what they were yesterday? Trans. It really doesn't make sense that being transgendered can be a trend. Maybe somebody will think it's cool, but that's how they feel. So how is it a trend? How are they just going with what's cool? I mean, that's how they feel, that's what they're doing, mind your business. That's just how I feel about that. So I wanted to do this coming out story in honor of anybody new coming out. It was just starting T, just came out, hit all those milestones. I mean, congrats. And I strongly believe in you. I don't think you're a transtrender. Don't believe that stuff, because people on testosterone as long as me would not like people to say that they were going through just a phase. It's disrespectful. So it's really disrespectful for others to say that a new person, not a new person, but somebody newly on T or newly out as trans is doing it as a trend. It's just, it's disrespectful. You're basically telling them they're going through a phase, and you wouldn't like that either. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Long ass video, sorry, I had a lot to talk about, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.